Hello and welcome to Today in History. My name is Sotonye Afiesimama. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to my channel. If you're visiting for the first time, welcome. And if you're a returning visitor, welcome as well. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me hopefully for the next 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, let's get cracking. I'm going to show you what happened today in history. So, as usual, in our usual tradition, I will roll back the blind to the first event of note on this day, and the year was 530. His name is Pope Felix IV, so he died on this day, but before he did that, he named his successor Boniface II. He was the Bishop of Rome from the 12th of July 526 to his death in 530. He was a chosen candidate of Ostrogoth King Theodoric, who had imprisoned Felix's predecessor John I. So that is Pope Felix IV, died on this day in the year 530. If you can see from this picture, you notice that the last four letters spell the word Papa, which I think loosely translates to Pope as well. Obviously, we know what Papa means. Billions of people call their dads Papa in most cultures, I think, around the world. So I guess, there's a connection between the name Papa and Pope. Hence, that's why you see that Felix Papa in the picture here, or the painting rather. Okay, let's move on now to the year 1609. So on this day, Spain's Philip III issued a royal order for the deportation of Moriscos. Who were these people called the Moriscos? They were Christians of Moorish ancestry. Now, the Moriscos were descendants of Spain's Muslim population that had converted to Christianity by coercion or by royal decree in the early 16th century. So sadly, on this day, they were expelled, possibly because of their race, possibly not likely because of the religion, because obviously they had converted to Christianity, and the state religion at the time was Christianity. It wasn't a Muslim state. I don't think Philip III was Muslim. Okay, so this is what happened on this day in the year 1609, the expulsion of Moorish Christians, those who have Christians of Moorish ancestry, whose ancestors were Muslim. Okay, and this is a picture of Philip III. I think I've talked about him in a previous video, so go check that video out. Okay, so Philip III, who issued a royal decree on this day for the deportation of the Moriscos. Let's move on now to the year 1692. So on this day in 1692, we had the Salem Witch Trials pictured here. Also, I did feature it in one of my videos a few weeks ago, probably a couple of months now. So a bit more about this Salem Witch Trial. It took place in the United States, okay, and in the state of Massachusetts. So what happened was, this was the day that was to be the last execution. So the last executions of 8 people happened today. And the Salem Witch Trials were a series of witchcraft trials that took place in 1692. Like I mentioned earlier, in Massachusetts, nearly 200 people were accused of witchcraft, and by the end of the trials, 19 were sentenced to death by hanging and executed. So just about 10% of those who were accused of witchcraft were executed by hanging. So that was a sad, one of the dark events or dark phases in our history as a human race. I think up to the 20th century, hangings were still being carried out, and up till this day, executions in some states in America still done. I think there's some other countries in the world as well. So maybe some in the Middle East still sentence people to death for perhaps killing other people, or maybe other crimes that may not be necessarily killing other people. Anyway, well, let me know what you think about taking the life of other people. I don't know. It doesn't quite sit well with me, but one could argue that if someone takes another person's life, their life should be taken as well. But I hear that hangings stopped in the UK. The last hangings happened in the year was of a man called Michael Barrett. He was hanged in the year 1867. So that's something you could check out. 1867, the last hanging in the United Kingdom. Okay, let's move on to the year 1776, another hanging. Believe it or not, this man, his name is Nathan Hale. He was an American officer. He was hanged by the British for spying during the American Revolution. Hale has long been considered an American hero, and in 1985 he was officially designated the state hero of Connecticut. So yet another hanging on this day. The year this time was 1776. Okay, so it's a day of hangings, I guess. Okay, 1888. Let's move on. The first issue of National Geographic magazine was published, and it became famous for its richly illustrated articles on the various geographic regions of the world. So this is a picture of a first copy of the National Geographic magazine. Okay, moving on to the year 1915. Xavier University was founded on this day. This is the logo of Xavier University, founded on this day. That's another logo. I'll show you some pictures. Xavier University, I'm going to tell you a bit about it. It was the first Black Catholic college in the United States, and it's based in New Orleans, Louisiana. So these are pictures of Xavier University, and we'll go back to the logo. Now this is in Latin, the Deo adjuvante non timendum, which means with the help of God there is nothing to fear. So Xavier University, first Black Catholic college, opened in the United States, in the state of Louisiana, the city of New Orleans. 1958 is the next important event on this day, and it's Andrea Bocelli. Who is this man? He is he's still alive, pardon me. He's an Italian opera tenor, noted for his unique blend of opera and pop music. So he was born on this day. So happy birthday, Andrea Bocelli. He was part of the three tenors, and obviously they're not three anymore. So I'm going to read a bit about him. He is also a songwriter, and he is a record producer. Now, if you notice from this picture, he is blind. For those of you who've never heard of him, he is blind. And the reason for that was that he was diagnosed with congenital glaucoma at the age of 5 months. And then he, as a young boy of 12, was playing football. He had an accident. It's not stated what the accident was, but presumably someone kicked the ball and it hit him in his eyes. And obviously because he already had this condition, this congenital glaucoma, that incident led to his blindness. So that's Andrea Bocelli, who was born on this day in 1958. So happy birthday, Andrea Bocelli, the talented Italian opera tenor. 1994, on this day, it's a day of firsts. Friends aired on this day. So first episode of Friends And obviously, for those of you who know about Friends, it became very, very popular, not just in the United States, but all over the English-speaking world. So, Friends pilot episode on this day. So I'll show you some more pictures. So the crew here, or the cast rather, of Friends. Rachel's wedding. Everyone drenched in black and white at a fountain. Then back to this picture. So pictured here is the first and last episode. Obviously you can see Rachel in a wedding dress on the phone. Last episode, she's on the phone. Phoebe, you know, that look, a bit bewildered. You know, my favorite actress actually. Well, you know, when Friends aired for the first time and I watched the first few series, I was like, who's this Phoebe? Yeah, she's so weird. She's so weird. I don't like her. And then as time went on, she became my favorite. You know, she just like I love this crazy woman. She's so weird, so quirky. Okay, so and then Monica, obviously Monica, very very organized. What's the word now? Now what's the word? OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Everything has to be neat and tidy. Everything has to be in place. You know, so that's Monica's character. And then what's his name now? Chandler at the top with that bewildered look. He had his own quirks as well. A bit quirky. I don't know what else. What else about him did I find interesting? He was a funny guy. Yeah, he was the clown. Someone who would be the class clown when he was in school, and obviously his character. And then Joey. Joey is just absolutely hilarious. Joey acts the part of a stupid guy. You know, funny but stupid. Yeah, quite interesting, Joey. And then Ross, the professor, Ross, intelligent guy, nice guy, sweet guy. Ross, Rachel's boyfriend for most of the TV series of Friends. So yeah, this was what happened on this day in 1994. Sadly, Friends had its last episode 22 years later. Okay, so let's move on to 1999. I did hint that this was a day of first. So on this day in 1999, the drama series The West Wing, pictured here, created by Aaron Sorkin, made its debut on American television. Enjoyed high ratings with its depiction of the inner workings of the administration of a fictional US president. On that note, guys, we call it a day on today's episode of Today in History. My name again is Sotoni Efiesimel. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, share it with your friends and family. Consider subscribing as well. You can do that by clicking the notification bell so that you receive updates of my video uploads. Once again, thanks for dropping by. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Today in History. Take care, stay safe. Bye bye.